Thanks for sitting down with me, Karl.
Happy Wednesday to you.
What?
Yeah, windy. Haven't you been outside?
Windy?
Well, yes, it is windy, and that is the main story about the weather here right now.
Really?
So, what's going to happen over the next few days? If you take it, let's think about weather for a moment.
Yeah.
So, the weather here has been quite warm, balmy for the last few days.
Yes.
It's 90 degrees today. Well, not so tomorrow. It's going to drop down to about 70 degrees tomorrow. And the temperature development over the next days is quite remarkable. In fact, if you take a look at the forecast for tomorrow, it says 70 degrees as a high temperature. And if you compare today and tomorrow, we actually made some graphs that you show on the screen here. If you compare today and tomorrow, you'll see that the temperature development over the next 24 hours is going to drop significantly. And that is because there's a cold front coming through. It's going to produce a lot of precipitation on the west coast. It's going to sweep through here. It's even going to bring snow back into the Tahoe area. So it is an absolutely remarkable time. You know, that's April for you here in Vegas.
Wow, I'm really surprised because every year that we're here, it's pretty standard, sunny, beautiful weather.
That is right. Well, I've been here for 23 years, and one of the first years I was here, it was actually snow one of the days.
Really?
It was remarkable. I opened the curtains of the hotel, and we're like, are you serious? And I'm from Norway, so I'm used to snow. I did not anticipate that in Vegas in April.
I'm from Canada,
Yeah,
so
well,
I mean, together we're escaping the snow when we come here.
Exactly, that's the entire purpose of coming here, right?
Oh my gosh, well this is why you're the weather expert. You keep me updated on all
I'll
the
keep
crazy
you
weather,
posted.
and you're so passionate about it too.
I love weather. Weather is, influencing everything we do. So, and people notice this, and this is really important for us dealing with weather in broadcast. You know, people in general, the audience is very educated, they demand a lot, which also puts a lot of demand on you, the broadcaster, and when you want to produce content for television on weather, it is important that you have access to a tool chest that allows you to bring in all the data and tell the story in a really compelling way. And obviously, I love weather and I love broadcast, so what better place, right?
Well, ChyronHego's has a great solution, Metacast.
Absolutely.
And that's basically what you talk about all NAB long, so why don't you take me through how it works?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what Metacast does, it ingests all kinds of data. It stores a fantastic, huge database in it. And in that database, you have access to government data. You have premium data services as well. You have point data, you have radar, satellite, and all those data products go into the system. And what's going to happen here is that the data goes into the system has templates established, and it can produce graphics like the one that you see right here. It is a radar image that shows the radar over Florida, and you see both the current temperature and the forecasted temperature in that graphic. Here you see an example of what the system can do in a severe weather situation. This was Hurricane Harvey that came in and really tormented Texas. And you can see there the dynamics of the atmosphere, how the moisture is being pulled into the area. And it actually sits over Houston for days. And that is obviously the cause for the flooding. Now, if you again look at this as a tool, the data that comes in here is represented as layers, and the meteorologist is able to pick and choose the layer that really tells the best story for that particular day. And that is one of the things that really makes a big difference between Metacast and just any other graphic system, because you have access to all these different data sources. You can actually pick and choose. It is not just a graphics generator or a content creator, it is an analysis tool. So the operator, the meteorologist, can use this to compare different models, and you can pick and choose between the different data sources, for that matter, different parameter fields. In some cases, you know, what the audience normally refers to would be the temperature on the ground or the rainfall and the wind on the ground. But sometimes that really doesn't tell the story.
Right.
So you want actually to be able to bring in upper air parameters to say, well, this is what happens up in the atmosphere that eventually brings weather to you. So you'll bring in a jet stream, you may bring in the vertical transportation of air in there, and all that is capable in the tool chest of Metacast.
It must be fun for weather presenters, especially meteorologists that are such experts, and to be actually able to provide visuals to fill out visually the story of the weather. So it's stuff maybe they've known all along. They are getting extra data as well, but it must be so cool to have creative ways to show it. And actually, at Al Jazeera, which is where they use Metacast,
yeah.
we have a quote from one weather presenter, and she says that it gives her an edge.
Yep.
And I thought that that was an interesting comment, because she feels like she's doing and delivering better content than the competitors.
Yeah, exactly. It is all about the storytelling and being able to pull in different information, be able to vary the show from one show to the next very easily. You have a library of templates where you can pull things in. And one of the latest developments in Metacast is also the connectivity between Metacast as a content creation platform and the rest of the Cameo universe. So for those broadcasters that are so lucky that they have the Cameo universe, they're able to bring the Metacast graphics up from any other system in the workflow. So the journalist may be able to say that, well, we have a report on a flooding in Mozambique. So you can type in the Mozambique and a flooding template, and it magically, almost,
magically
appears instantly. And that is the power of storytelling. Being able to bring in the visuals with real data, not just a constructed graphic, but real visuals with real data, and in very high resolution quality as well.
I was going to ask you about the other products on the market. So are they using mostly constructed visuals?
Well, the other products in the market also have some access to templating and multiple data sources, but what really sets Metacast apart is the really close connectivity to the rest of the Cameo universe. It is also the fact that we are data source agnostic. We have 42, 43, maybe 45 different data providers linked into Metacast right now. So that makes it possible for the weather forecaster, and as you mentioned earlier, they're more and more scientists. They really are people with a lot of knowledge, a lot of expertise in weather forecasting, and they will use Metacast as a forecasting tool, as a content creator, and to be able to do that instantly.
Wow. What are the benefits for the audience?
Well, the audience benefits in many ways. One thing is that Metacast now allows creation of content for second screens, your apps, your social media. So the audience will feel much more connected to the actual weather talent, because they will post the information all the time. Another thing is that the system allows production of specialized graphics, like feature graphics that will cover breaking weather news stories, and that is obviously a benefit. And honestly, just the look and feel of it is more appealing. It is dynamic, and it is also really customized for the actual broadcaster. Unlike a lot of the other data and system providers out there, the system is totally branded in with the rest of the infrastructure. So if you have a graphics style sheet, if you have a design book for your broadcaster, you can really have the system also take on all the different visual parameters of that.
Cool. As we know, and we've been talking a lot on almost every panel, social media always plays in, and it's becoming more and more important. We want to feed that demand, so how does Metacast do that?
Well, Metacast does that in several ways, but the most efficient and the best way of doing that right now is the connectivity to the Cameo universe. You're actually able to, in the ENPS module, to ring up your weather graphics, and you're able to post that directly to Twitter and Facebook. You write your comments right there, and the content is rendered and posted seamlessly. And you can also set up an automatic production flow, so where the customer would have an automatic creation of a satellite image or satellite loop every hour, for that matter, and put it to their YouTube channel or to their web page or what have you. So the capability of producing the graphics, not just for broadcast, but also for all different levels of second screens, is something that is really central. And being able to monetize it, it comes end of the day, you really want to be able to monetize your graphics content.
Yes.
And Metacast is really tailored to do that.
And you can be hyper-local too. I love how you talk about, Mozambique or wherever suddenly there's flooding in one place, you can go to there right away.
Absolutely, instantly, whatever location on the planet, and then go really close in your city. You can see, a radar image that we saw a little earlier. You can go close in and you can see how the radar is progressing, you can see how severe weather is progressing, or for that matter, just current temperatures. Fortunately, it's not always severe weather, right? So
Yes.
in probably 300 of the 365 days of the year, what we're going to be talking about is really local weather, and then being able to bring in localized temperatures right now, and seamlessly integrated into both your on-air as well as your social media activity.
Well, and it changes how people understand weather too, and perhaps their actions in their daily lives. So what's your take on that?
Well, there are several really important factors. One thing is that a system like Metacast allows you to bring out data that really addresses a current situation. Well, the other day we had the second lightning fatality for the year already.
Wow.
And people don't even think of this, but in the US alone, several dozens of people die from lightning strikes every single year.
Wow.
In 2016, there were actually 39 people that were killed by lightning strikes just in the US. And being able to make people aware of the inclement
Yes.
weather, there's a really important slogan, hashtag WRN, Weather Ready Nation. It goes something like this: when the thunder roars, stay indoors. And bringing out messages like that is really important.
Right.
People really need to understand that being prepared for weather is actually survival.
Right.
In many cases.
I'm shocked to hear that 39 people died in the States being hit by lightning.
Just in this country.
That's
Yeah, absolutely.
unbelievable. You don't really hear about that.
No, it's not talked about that much, and it is important to know. In addition to that, obviously, other severe weather situations, storms, we talked about Harvey before, you have snowstorms that are being named, people connect to these things, and it's really important to be able to convey information and engage with the audience in such a way that the people really trust you as a source of weather information, and as you said, being prepared for weather, that is really important, and it affects everything you do in your life, really.
Well, you are such a source of information. By the way, he has a great Twitter feed and a great blog as well.
Well,
Everybody,
thank you.
check it out. Thank you so much, Karl.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.